I'm Steve Fisher, and here's another quick tips video on the Octopad SPD-30. Let's make a phrase loop. Phrase loops are fun because they allow you to make your own creative loops, custom drum loops, that you can use with music production, or you can even use it for live performance, which is really exciting. So you can build up a loop as the song progresses. Here's what we do. We're going to start off by selecting the kit we want to use. I'm going to use that kit right there. It's called Cuban Kit. And I push the standby button. Now you notice you hear the metronome. I'm going to hold down that standby button because I want to select how many measures and how many beats. Now I can use the knobs for how many beats, whether it's 2 beats per measure, 3 or 4. The other thing too that I can use is also the pads. So I can actually hit the pads, and those will also function as controllers. So I'm going to do 4 measures. I lift up, and of course we can hear the metronome. Now that shaker metronome, of course you can change sounds anytime you want. But that shaker metronome, just to let you know, the way it's set, it's going to only play through the first pass of my recording and then go away. So what you want to do, for the most part, is play something that has a little more of a rhythmic foundation so you can build the rest of the loop successfully. Now you can have it play all the way through all your recording if you want to, but I've got it set so that my training wheels, if you will, for the metronome goes away after the first pass. So here we go. When we're ready to record, you just start hitting the pad. Here we go. Oh, the other thing too, tempo button. You also have the tempo. You can use the right knob to adjust the tempo. You also have quantize, so I can quantize my notes going in. So I can make them perfect 8th notes, triplets, 16th notes, or you can turn it off so you can do anything you want to without the SPD-30 correcting your timing. I'm going to go to 8th notes. Here we go. Now notice the shaker went away. Now what I want to do is I want to see what other instruments are actually on the pads. So what I can do is push the play button. Now it takes me out of record mode, and I can hit any of the pads to try them out. There's my conga drums. There they are. And so what I'll do is now push the record button, and I'm ready to record that. Let's add some bongo drums. Now I can go into play mode again and then just play timbales over it just to be creative and have fun jamming over that. So there you have that. The cool thing about the phrase loop function is it'll actually allow you to record up to 3 parts. So that's part 1. I use my Cuban Kit. Let's go to part 2, and that's easy. Just push the button underneath where it says part 2. Now I'm in part 2, and I can select another drum kit. In this case, I'm going to do more like a melody kind of synthy thing here called Lost Melody on number 5. I'm in play mode, so I can just play the pads without recording anything to see where my sounds are. Got it. Okay, I'll push the record button, and here we go. That sounds great. Let's go to part 3. So push the button underneath where it says part 3, and then you'll also see in the display right there my 3rd part. And let's go to just a regular drum set called Groovin' Drums. I'm going to go back to play mode so then I can see what sounds are there. Velocity switched hi-hat. Okay, let's go into record mode and record something. Here we go. Now let's say during the recording of your phrase loop you play a note that you weren't too happy with. For example, let me play a crash cymbal over here. And let's say you want to erase it. That's really easy. One of the things you'll notice on the pads is that the pads that have lights next to them are the pads that I've already used in recording. So what I'm going to do is I simply have to hold down the erase button and then hit the pad that I want to erase. In this case, it's going to be that crash cymbal on the far left. And it's flashing. And so it's gone. Next pass, and it should be gone right here. Good, it's gone. And then go back to my recording. Now again, I can just push the play button and just jam over it. That's pretty easy. Now if you want to stop your phrase loop, push the record and play button together because it says stop. Neat trick, if you want to start again, all you have to do is hit any one of the pads. And that way it's fun too, speed up the tempo. Now let's say you want to get rid of one of those parts. Let's say, geez, I really don't want those drums in there. Let's say the lost melody I don't like at all that's in there. Here's what I can do. Go to part 2 and use your quick button that's down here. So I'm going to use my quick button. It's right down the bottom. Push quick and scroll down where it says clear part data and then push OK. That's right, the button right below where it says OK. It says, are you sure? And I'll say yes, and now it's gone. Notice it also in the display that actually doesn't have a check mark next to it. 1 and 3 have a check mark, but the second part doesn't have a check mark, which means it's not locked in. So I can go to some other kind of fun drum sound if I want to. Let's try this. That's not a good one. Let's not do that one. I can do one of those. I can do any one of these different kits that I have. Let's use the bell pads. Push record. To stop it, push both buttons down. Now, if you can save them, this phrase loop that I've got, I can save that to any one of the 50 internal locations and then also save it off to a USB stick if I'd like to do that too. But if I just want to get out of it, just push the back button. It'll say, this will erase it. Are you sure? Yeah, I'm not going to save it this time. So I push the OK button and now the slate is wiped clean. Phrase loops are great. Again, they can be very creative. You can create your own custom loops with all the sounds in the SPD-30 for your music production and again also for live playing. Start off with one basic loop and start building a loop as the song goes on. Phrase loops are great.